Hi, everybody on YouTube, all you poker players out there trying to build a bankroll, starting out with very little capital. I'm here at True Poker this morning. This is me, Reed here, one radar one. I'm going to wait two more hands and do a little talking before it comes to me. Our goal today is to make $25 inside of an hour. If we make 15, that's okay. Our goal is not to lose any money, but if we do lose, we want to lose just a little bit of our bankroll. We do not want to have heavy losses. This, I looked in the lobby, and the average pot has been up over $2, so it's very active. A lot of raising pre-flop on this table, so it should be some ramming and jamming. Um, Best to set some traps for these people if they want to raise. Maybe we'll play a little bit differently than we normally do and let them raise us when we have a good hand and set a trap. It's best to have position when you do something like that. And we'll just wait a couple of hands. And I'm also doing a Twitch broadcast, and that would be my name would be Teach GPL, and you're welcome to always sign up there and follow me there, and you will be notified when I'm doing something live, and you can come in and ask some questions when I'm doing something live. I'm going to do some shadowing sessions pretty soon, and I'll need some volunteers also. You'll be at the table playing. You'll be on Skype with me, and I'll be asking you questions as you play, and you'll be making all the decisions, but I'll be making questions as if the observers would want to know what kind of decision-making process you're doing. So if you're interested in that, that's Spath at alspath.com. And if you're one of my followers, you may get selected as a free training session with me. You'll have to have money on either true or full flush poker. If you don't have money on full flush poker, you could use the code AHR 10. I think that's the code. Anyhow, email me. I'll give you the code and you'll get $10 free in your account if you don't have a full flush account. If you do have a full flush account, of course, someone else in your family using a different email address and a different name could sign up and receive that. Here I've got Ace Queen, which is a very good hand, and this guy's got a lot of money here. So we definitely want to raise him up and make him pay to play, even because I'm out of position as well. Now he could be trapping. He could have a very good hand here. I'm going to definitely hit at least 2/3, probably going to go a little bit more than 2/3. I'd like to go 3/4. I could go even a full pot here. That ought to be enough to take it down, and it is. He limps in. He's probably got a small pair, medium pair, a suited connector, an ace X suited, maybe even ace rag. I've got to just lay pressure on him. I'm out of position. He's got to give me credit for a big hand there. He doesn't know if I hit the king or if I have a big pair myself. So he's going to jam 50 cents in, which he should be a little bit more. I just don't have enough. If I had 10 jack there, I might think about defending, although I'm out of position. The chances of him having a really good hand there are slim. It's more of a steal bet. Just like right now, if I go up against the big blinds, chances of me having a good hand aren't very good. You're going to get more bad hands than you are going to get good hands. Again, that's that 50-cent raise. I'm not buying it. I'm gonna come over the top of him. I just don't want one of the blinds calling because if they're out of position, that would be a good hand. As I said, he was just stealing. That 50 cents is not indicative of a good bet. I'm just going to take the money away from him. Who knows? If he called, I might be able to hit something with a 5-4 and then really take his whole stack as well. Well, the 9-3 I could attack, but not really. Not really. Not going to do it. Or as Mr. Senior Bush said, not gonna do it. Not gonna raise taxes. And sure he did. We'll leave politics out of it. That was just a joke. Saturday Night Live. All right. So let's see what happens when we're not in the hand. We're not in this hand for sure. I can guarantee you, there are people that would, if they were first in, they would be raising with the same. I'm not that guy. I'm not your guy. You're learning at the lower levels. You're going to learn from me. You're going to learn fundamentals. You're going to throw away crap, and you're going to get in hands with good cards, or you're going to make some steal moves with good position. This is not one of those times. You know, if you want one of those other coaches, if you want to watch a video like that, there are a lot of people out there that will just throw money in there and you'll be impressed by the way they win. They do win. Some of them really do. Some of them win $4,000 or $5,000 one day, and then by the end of the week, may give back $6,000 or $7,000. But they sure play that way. I don't play that way. I play, build the bankroll. You take wins. Maybe they're small wins till you get to a certain level, then you move up in stakes. You take small wins again. You keep building that bankroll till you get to the higher stakes. And then sometimes, and this is not a good hand right here, sometimes you get to a stake and you start to lose money. Then you have to tell yourself, let's say for instance, you have $300 and you move up at some point in time to 25 cent 50, and you have $300, and all of a sudden you find out that the competition's a little better there, and you start losing some hands and you start losing some money, and you get down to like 225 on your bankroll. Well, before you go down under 200, get the hell out of the 25.50. Go back to the 15.25 where you, or 10 cent 25 where you were crushing it, and build that bankroll up to 300 again. And then when you get to 300 again, get back in the 25 cent 50. Okay, go slow. See if you can hold your own. Maybe you drop down again, and then you have to go back again. But keep making these forays into the 25.50 till you get the feel of it, until you start winning, and then more time, keep adding time. Maybe you do split time. Maybe you do 10 cent, 25 cent for an hour, and then take a break, and then you come back and you do 25 cent 50 for maybe 30, 40 minutes, and see if you can win. And if you do, great. And if you don't, get back into that 10 cent, 25 cent and stabilize things. Don't start changing your game if you're playing smart poker and people are just outplaying you or they're getting better cards. Don't change your game. That's the key. But you need to have somebody shadow you. You need to have a coach, a friend, somebody that can give you some advice and say, you know, you're not thinking along the right lines, or validate the thinking that you're having. This is an easy fold. Again, the 50 cent bet by this cute story here. I don't like it. I'll never like it. This should be over $1. He goes at half the pot. I don't like that either. I'm going to think he's got something possibly like an ace jack, possibly like a pair of nines, maybe even queen king. He checks when the ace shows up. This guy should absolutely bet $3 at least. Goes with 228, which I feel is 2/3 of the pot, and he's still going to win it. You don't have to see the cards to know who's weak and who's strong usually. Again, this is a fairly decent hand. If I was in late position, no question I'm raising. Early position, it's going in the muck. I'm trying to build a bankroll. I'm not trying to put myself out there that I have to get really lucky to win a hand. I want to get in hands where I think that I'm ahead and I can really pressure some people. King Jack in early position with 8 players left to act is only going to get you in trouble. Now, certainly here somebody might not raise, and we might see the flop with 2 jacks, and it would look like it was a great hand. That can happen, but it's not reality to think it will happen. This guy should raise, not the 50 cents. There again, I would have nothing on the flop, having to commit myself to a continuation bet. I'm not saying I still wouldn't win, but I don't want to put myself in those situations. Someone should bet. One of these blinds should bet. One of them is apt to have a 7. The bet should be a pot-sized bet or closer to 65 cents, somewhere in that area. Nobody has a thing. Nobody has a thing. Here's the thing. When nobody bets once, nobody bets. They'll all check limpers and then checks. Somebody bet. You can pick up the pot pretty easy. There's a 7, like I told you about, and he didn't even take a stab at it, and he still wound up winning. Now, Queen 7, they call that the computer hand. Apparently, they ran that against or a million times, and Queen 7 won more than any other hand. I guess it made 7s and queens, and it made straights on the high end, straights on the middle end, straights on the low end. But anyhow, it was this fantastic hand. I don't see it. I don't play it. So some people there swear by it. Now, of course, that's an easy hand to fold, especially to a raise. You're not hearing any sound on the table because I have it off. It's annoying, in my opinion. So I've got a 4-3 in the small blind. About the only thing I can do here is limp. I don't want to raise out of position. It's not. This guy's going to go 50 cents, and I'll just dump it. I could do what I did before. Oh, no, he learned his lesson. He went to $1 this time. Oh, that's right. This guy is in over here. So let's see what he bets here. You know what he bet, and he checked it back. Let's see. This guy bets a buck. He over bets the pot. Over bet. Look, $3 into 224. What is he saying? I want you out right now. Would you do that if you had the queen? Hell no, you wouldn't do it. He didn't have a queen. He might have had pocket 9s or something like that, but he felt that this guy didn't have the queen either. If I'm first after a limper, I'm going to raise it up, offsetting the limper's bet. Instead of 75 cents, I'm going to make it $1. Attack the limpers, play aggressive against the limpers. Don't let them see it cheaply. Make them pay to see it. Now, he may have a jack. If he stays when I bet this time, then he's got the jack. If he bets, I'm going to come over the top of him to see if he has it. Go 239. He can't stay with anything else but a jack. It's not how many hands you play, it's how many hands you win that you play. Remember that. I got an ace, a little ways away from the button, but I've got to put in a bet here and try to take it down. It's 35 cents. I've risked $1 to win 35 cents, and he may even call. I'm going to follow up. I got the 5 and the redraw for an ace, so I'm going to bet the pot this time. He's out of position. I want him down. He's down. So I think that's 4 hands I've played. A ton of hands I've thrown away. Here's a good homework assignment for you. Some of you that have been with me for a while or knew me when I was dean over at Poker School Online will remember this one. Those of you that are starting out, just take a deck of cards and go to your kitchen table and deal out 9-handed or 10-handed face up at least 5 times. But each time you do it, go around the table and see who's got a good hand, who's got a speculative hand. See if the person that has ace king or pocket pair doesn't raise, how other people with 5-6 come in and you can do the flop, the turn in the river just to see how it would make out. But just see how many good hands are dealt out, and they're not many. That's why you got to be aggressive when you do have those good hands. But do that at least 5 times. And you can do it if you're playing 6-player tables, do it 6-handed. If you're playing heads up a lot and you want to see what I like, or final table when it's 3 people, like in a tournament, do that. Deal it out 3 hands. See how wide a range of hands you can play and how aggressive you can be with them. It's a very good assignment. It's very easy to do. It just takes a deck of cards and some time and some analysis on your part. If you got a question about it, send me an email, alspath@alspath.com. I'll get back to you. But I hope you're following me here and at Twitch GPL. Tell a friend. Now, this guy comes in under the gun, and I don't really like the bet. And I'm going to just raise him up here and see if I can get everybody else out. I don't want callers here unless the blinds call. I do not want the people behind me calling or re-raising me here. 2-2 is not a good hand. I don't want you to think that I'm playing, but if I'm going to play it, I got to raise. I can't limp. Get paid, get laid. Nice name. All right, Bloops, let's see what you got. Let's see if you limped in with something big or you just want to see a flop. That's a good flop for me. Going to bet 260. All my winnings. That's how you win with pocket deuces, when you have position and you interpret somebody's bet as being weak, and then you follow through with a continuation bet. Easy fold. If you've watched any of my videos, and for those of you that are just viewing for the first time or have watched 1 or 2, go back to the beginning if you can and start from the beginning. Learn the process at the 5-cent, 10-cent level. It won't go any lower than that. Moving up, moving up, moving up, and see how strategies change and what you should do. Learn the techniques. Learn to look for bet sizes. Try to interpret. There will be some tricky people, but most of them won't be as smart as this guy to my right who keeps putting in 50 cents. I say that in jest because I think that's a lousy bet, a min raise. Generally speaking, if you're under the gun, do a min raise. You usually don't get to be the one that has position. He has earned his position here by betting just 25 cents, and he's got position on these 2 blinds. There's no doubt JB87 would raise or call. That other guy priced him in. So now we'll see if this guy wants to put in $1.25 or come over the top or just get the hell out of the way. He calls. The other guy folds. I would expect this guy to bet 250, 275. That's too small. That's half the pot. That's like, I don't know where I'm at, and he still took it down. Let's just keep interpreting these bets, because that's how it's going to make you money, whether you're right each time or you get close each time. You just got to narrow it down. That's how you put players on hands. Like this guy here, he just bet 75 cents. We have to give him, at a full table like this, we have one guy sitting out probably higher than ace jack. He's second one in. I would think ace king or ace queen. There's 16 combinations of those. He could have aces or kings or queens, but let's just give him credit for something good. Of course, he could do it with pocket eights. He could do it with 5-6 suit. He could do it with lots of things. But let's just say ace king, ace queen, ace jack in that area. Just putting them on a group of hands. Some of these guys at this low level, king, queen, king, jack suited, they're doing the same thing. So you can't be right each time. You just have to take a group and try to narrow it down. Now he's going to bet into him as if to say, I've got an ace, and if you've got a pair of jacks or kings or queens, you're going to get out of my way. If he's got the ace, king, or ace, queens coming over the top, he didn't let me finish before I was going. This guy may, in fact, only have 10 jack and have an open-ended straight draw. This guy should make a big bet here, almost $5, if not the pot, to get him out or make him pay. That's a pretty good bet. He's going to pay. There's a 6. I don't think he was playing 7-10, so I don't think the 6 was any help. This guy does not, if he's not sure where he's at, he's going to check. If he wants a value bet here, if he thinks he's in really good shape, like he had 3 aces or an ace king, he's going to bet and see if he can get some value out of it. And he goes all in. Does he have a set? He's committed. He's put 10 in, he's got 8 behind. He's put all that other money in. He's got a call here. Can't let this guy get some fold equity out of this. He did have a set and he had 2 pair. So he did play a suited ace in early position and he got exactly what he wanted, the ace 8, and still lost his entire stack. Wow. That was a little light with the ace 8 suited, but I raised with that as well in early position. What he did with the pocket 8s back here, he took a chance at 75 cents and hit it. There's no way he was going away. And then he just milked it. He just let this guy continue to bet, knowing that he hit the ace, which was very good on JV87's part. Now, this guy raised, it's an easy fold. A lot of times when I have a pocket pair and I'm in the blinds and I'm up against an early raiser like this guy, I figure I'm really at a disadvantage. So I usually let those hands go. He's up to $52. He's sitting out. He's about to take his winnings and leave the table. So I've been raised by this guy, but he's way back here. He could have a light hand. If I call, I'm inviting one of these 2 in. So I'm just going to re-raise him at this point, keep my position, knocking these 2 out for sure. If I call, I'm inviting them in and they may beat me with something. The longer he takes, the more I think he has ace 10. And then when he does something like that, he says he has maybe pocket queens. I can beat pocket queens if I catch an ace or a king here. I can't beat pocket queens with that kind of flop. I think he'll put in a full pot bet, $10, $11 here, if he's got the overpair. That's enough to get me out. I don't have a redraw except for overcards. So he took my winnings. Bad hand, fold. Fold. It hurts, stings when you have a good cards and you get up against somebody that apparently had better cards than you. Remember, ace king offsuit is not a group 1 hand. It looks great, but it's a group 2 hand. So anything he had in the group 1 hand, including ace king suited or pocket 10s, jacks, queens, kings, or aces, are going to be ahead of me. That's a big bet there, out of position. Black Turtle has to have a really big hand. This guy was in late position. It's more likely he was stealing, and he's going to fold. Got to figure it out best you can. Now we got him sitting out. He's won his $15. He's going to move on out probably, along with this guy here. Let's see where this guy is from. He's from Marietta, Florida. Sometimes I like to see if some people are from the same place. I'm going to fold my 9-10 to that razor there. He's from Brooklyn, New York. He left. He'll leave next. This is not a good hand. You get a flop of 3-4-5, which makes you straight. You got to think of people that might be playing 6-7. So I don't like to be on the bottom end of any kind of straight draw. Now I'm up against just the one person here. I'm going to limp as if I don't have an ace. See if he'll just let me see a flop, and he doesn't. So I'm gonna go back over the top of him and just see if he really wants to do this. I gotta prove to him that I have a good hand. He's gonna call. If he's got the king, he's gonna clean my clock here. If he doesn't have the king, he cannot call. And we're back plus again. So sometimes when people screw with you, you screw with them right back. But you got to be careful because I could have lost my whole stack there. I just had a read on him that he was BSing, and I followed through on my BS. He didn't follow through on his. So I guess I should have been nicknamed Bill Spath, not Al Spath. That would have been initials BS, right? If you can laugh at yourself, you can play this game. If you take it too serious, you're going to go down in flames. It is a game. It is a game of chance. It is a game of skill. Do not think for one moment that you could play this game and not have some knowledge of the game, some skills, some experience, some coaching. You have to have a plan of attack. You have to have patience. You have to have discipline. They all go together. And patience and discipline are the first two things you got to learn. If you think you need to play in lots of hands or you're bored because you're not in lots of hands, then you need to be playing a different game. Or you need to get your talents very good so you can multi-table. I never multi-table when I'm playing or for YouTube or anything like that because I want you to see and concentrate on just one table. It's not because I can't multi-table. And when I do multi-table, 3 is the max I usually do, but usually only 2. And I never mix tournaments and cash games because you have to play both of them differently and you have to have a different mindset. So if you're doing that, you're making a big mistake. Now, if you want to play a sit and go and then start another sit and go about 20 minutes in, and then start another sit and go about 20 minutes in, you should be at the final table on one of them when you're just about in the folding everything stages of your other sit and go, so it shouldn't affect you. You don't want to get to the final table and 2 or 3 of them at the same time. You always want to get to that final table, but you don't need those screens popping and popping. You'll miss too much information. Again, there's a big blind bet. That's usually a big hand. Most people get out of the way. If they're stealing, they're definitely getting out of the way. But he's making that bet big enough to chase everybody out of the pot. Smart. And again, it was a 50-cent bet. It was terrible. Now it's his turn. See if he does 75. There you go. You could do it with 65. You just can't do it with 50. I would expect check, check, $2. He may even go, he might go lower, but $2 would be where I would be. Got to figure that they called. They got a little something, maybe a pair, maybe pocket sixes, maybe something. He gave him a free card, and that's not smart. King, queen might be betting here. It's over. He gave up, but he didn't do a continuation bet, so we know he's weak. Right like that, we know he's weak. Oh, he came back. Great. He's still here. He's reloaded several times. Got to keep looking around the table. 25, 18. You know, I'm always circling the table looking for stack sizes. I want to know this is the guy that can double me up. You know, most of this guy can't double me up. I want to look for the short stack and see how they're playing and what I can expect how they're going to be playing. Sometimes there's a little silence. That's because I'm thinking about other practices and theories and strategies I want to discuss. Black Turtle's been pretty smart with his bets. If he bet here, I think it's going to be close to $1 if he plays at all. No, he just called. That's very curious. What kind of a hand would he call with that could hit that flop? Jack 9, of course, is nuts. 10-8, 10-9, 10 Jack with a straight draw and a pair. That's only 40 cents. He got a piece of it. I don't think he got much of it. It's so easy to fold when you got crappy cards. So now I'm going to pressure myself. I've been sitting at the table for X amount of minutes. I don't know. I'm going to say 20 minutes. I'm going to give myself the next 16 minutes to the top of the hour, or thereabouts, close to maybe 1 or 2 trips around the board to get at least $5 or $10 more. I told you my sat with 25. I'd like to win 25, but if I settle for 15 or 10, that's good. But you make a nice lofty goal, and if you don't get there, but just a little bit under it, you're still going to make money and build your bankroll. So, you know, I got my money back. If I didn't waste it that one hand, I would be up near 35 or so. But we learned something from that hand I played. This is the guy that's playing good. I would expect at least for me to call somebody here 50 cents, and I would not with 8-9. But I expect somebody to make this 75. Here we go. Now, if somebody re-raises this guy, how much should it be? 3 times this amount. That's real easy. So now if somebody raises, it should be 4 times that amount. You got to offset the money that's in the pot. This would be close to a $3 bet if he wanted to raise. Or if I wanted to raise here, it would be probably $4 because I'm out of position. I don't have a good enough hand to do that, and this guy's probably got a good hand here. So I'm just going to fold. It's going to cost me 50 cents for Tuesday. I'm getting over 5-1 on my money, but I'm out of position, and all I have is 8-9. Again, quick math. Just look at the pot, see what it's going to cost. Just divide it up, see if it's worth it. Most of the time when you're getting 5-6-1, you think about getting in those pots, but your position is another factor, and how many other people are in the hand is also a factor. Now here comes the bet right here, $5 or $6. There's the 476. Thought it should be a little bit more north of 5 there, and he's going to win. Queen 2 is not a good hand. As we tick down to 14 minutes left on the video. Just not worth it. That's why you gotta really hit it hard when you're out of position. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen that often. You might be running real good though. There are times that it's just the cards are gonna hit you in the face. It's just, you know, you're gonna be a card rack. You're just gonna get everything. You're gonna play Queen 4. It's gonna come out. But those are few and far between. Just get rid of the crap. Don't count on it. Crap is crap. Position helps crap. Position doesn't change crap. Just remember that. It doesn't change it. You can do more with position. You can win without cards without position. There's that little bet again. I would definitely think about calling him or re-raising him if I was in the blind. Not the best of cards here. 9-7, I'd probably be raising if I was first in. I don't think I can do it with the 9-5 here. I don't think I want to do it. Let me put it that way. That's not to say that there are other trainers or other people out there, coaches that, or people, players that would do it and take a chance being this far away from the button with such a weak hand. I'm not that guy. I'm not this guy either. Turtle just calls. Slow and steady, the turtle, huh? Chunk, chunk. Come on, folks, we're down to 12 minutes here. I set a goal for myself, but if you don't give me a chance, I can't do it. Sometimes it's okay to not play. Just if the next 12 minutes give me no hands and I left where I'm at, so be it. If I get no hands, I got no hands. I got no hands here. It's a fold. You can't make it change the cards. But this guy got out and the cards changed because everybody got different cards. But that's the only way cards change. Otherwise, the random generator is going to just give you the cards that are set to come out. Now, I've been at seats before and online and live that the cards were all horrible, and I've moved over to another seat and the cards have improved. Sometimes you get a better perspective. Sometimes you get a better angle on somebody else at the table that's doing a lot of betting. I don't like the ace-10. I don't like ace-10 in early position. I haven't received any good cards. That looks like a monster. That looks like meat and potatoes to a lot of you. But there's too many people to act. I don't really like this hand in early position. If I was in the middle or towards the end, I'd be raising with it for sure. But I'm not going to do anything with this in early position here. Got one caller. I can't see him folding. If he's the 50-cent man, and he did, unbelievable. And there's what my ace-10 would have got me. A chance to continuation bet. So he checked, bet, called. This should be the $2.10, $2.20 or more bet. He doesn't. This guy's going to call. Checked again. That's a big overbet. 11 into $6. Is he bluffing? Come on. He's trying to think right now. Is he bluffing? Does he have the king and have the guts to call this? No. Now, the only way this guy had a chance to win there was to bet. I think he bet a lot to win that small pot. That's a lot to do. I don't think he had the trips. He may have had the king though. I just think his kicker might have been weak. So here we are on the big blind with 6-3. See a flop. We want a 4-5. Definitely don't want aces and kings and cards in the playing zone. Although it wasn't raised, you still have the possibility of an ace reg being out there. I'll check it. If somebody would have bet 50 cents here, I might check raise them just to show them that they made the wrong bet. That's a good, well, that's an over bet. That's a little far-fetched there. But because it's so high, I would have to go 3 times that, or almost $4, and I'd be out of position. So it's a good bet in that sense. And now it's totally between them two. I think he's going to check, or he's going to make another small bet, maybe like $1.50, $1.25. This guy's got the ace. He's going to come over the top for $3 or $4 right now. Seeing if this guy's got the flush draw. Nope, he just calls. There's the flush card. And of course, he could have had the flush draw too. Big bet. 570. $13. Second time. Be nice to be able to see this call. There you go. He did have the flush draw. He flopped the nuts. I love it. Black Turtle thought he was in command, and all he was doing, and he left. He got his knickers in a twist and took off. That's a guy that you want to just add to your buddy list and find him, because that was sick. He made it. He got there with his spade. That was the worst card in the deck that could have came out, because Theo was just hoping he would catch the spade. Now we got a short table. We got only 6 of us. We can play 5 of us with him sitting out. Wider range of hands. I'm not going to play anything with the queen there. Maybe if it was a king, I would attack the blinds, but I'm just going to let that one go. This table may fall apart, and we may not get to the 7 minutes I got remaining on this video. We'll see. This guy might be just waiting for the blind. Hopefully another couple of people come sit down. This is the only 9-player table that was going this morning in True. So he re-raised him. He calls only. That tells you the strength of his hand. He's going to bet a big bet here near $3 or $4 even. That's not good enough. This guy's got something. He's still staying in. He may want him to stay in, but this guy may have picked up a hard draw. He may have picked up the straight draw. This guy's going to bet $4, $5. How comfortable does he think he is? If he checks, he's not comfortable. See, he's not comfortable. There's the jack. His was just a bluff. The bluff wasn't enough money. See, it wasn't enough money to get that guy out of there. 7-4. Although a friend of mine likes to play it, I like to pass on it. You could type if you happen to be watching this and you were watching this live. Everybody would be typing in the initials RES. And we got another person that jumped in. But to see now with the shorter field, the blinds are flying around. So you really got to win some hands, because when the blinds come around so fast like this, it's going to eat into your profits. So when you're not getting cards at a 6-player table, when there's usually 5 seated and playing, you really have to make some hands. If you're not getting cards, you're going to get decimated. You're just going to start losing money. There you go, 4 players. This guy raised 50 cents. Check, check. See if he bets $1. Nope. Here's a guy with $9.50. Bets $1 that $9.50, saying that I want you all out. I've got either the 9 or I got a draw, and they all go away. And then we'll give him the benefit of that that's the max he can have. A lot of times it's just a steal bet. Not good cards, despite what some people might tell you. Looks like 4 minutes to go. I got about one more time around the table. Well, I'm going to call him here. This is a loose call. I'm going to call him here. If he has the 10, he's got me. I'm going to raise him here. Buddy. Remember, I said that 8-6 was 8. That Queen 8 was not a good hand. I turned it into a good hand because I played the player. I didn't play the cards. I played the player. Yeah, the cards ran out pretty good for me, but I was playing the player. He hasn't shown me much. So when you look at the table, if he plays, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hands before it gets back to me. And we'll end the session. Nothing again. How many times have I done that and showed you nothing and you've seen nothing? Sometimes you start folding nothing and then nothing hits, like a jack six would hit, and then you say to yourself, well, should I be playing those cards? Don't go results oriented. You shouldn't be playing them. Whether the jack six, 2 6s come out, you shouldn't be playing those kind of cards. Jack might be the best card. Person that would have the 4 would be get paid because he's in the blind. The other guy would have to probably play ace 4 or something like that. Get paid might have any 4, being that he's in the blind. Random cards. All right, deal us some queens or something. A limp from the guy that's got only $11. He probably won't defend, but he probably come up if he has a really good hand. He probably will come over the top, try to get all his money in the pot. I'm going to raise this up here to $2. In fact, I'm going to go even higher than that. I just want the money that's in the pot. Of course, I could run into a good hand. They'll tell me that because they're out of position. Mine is not a good hand. I'm stealing 95 cents or 85 cents is what I'm trying to steal. Thank you. Ten Jack is not the best hand, but it's the favorite hand of most people. They like playing that because if you flop a straight, any straight you flop, it doesn't have, of course, there's no 10 or Jack on the board, you're going to have the nuts. I can't call. I can't really raise with that hand there. If I was here, had 25 cents in, and there was 3 or 4 people that called this man's raise, I might see that flop for the 50 cents. Absolutely. Here, maybe. It depends. Here, I need more people in front of me to call, not just one person. If I was going to do anything, if I was on the button, it would be raise, re-raise. I'm teaching you to be aggressive, but not overly aggressive. I figure if you have a tendency to do that, you'll do it anyhow. Those of you that are very tight, nitty type players, think about a rubber band. I'm going to stretch you and try to get you to be a little bit more aggressive, knowing that it's out of your comfort zone. But when you let that rubber band go, instead of going back to its original position, it's going to be a little bit looser. It's going to be a little bit stretched out. Then the next time you stretch you again, watch another video, they go a little bit more. And eventually you'll get to a comfortable place where you're playing solid, aggressive poker. I'm going to fold this 5. Again, there's a lot of people. They're playing the 5-6 they're limping or they're just playing the hand. We're trying to build a bankroll. We're not trying to do things like that. You could, but we're not. I'm not. I got two hands to try to make it at least a 35. My goal was 25, but I told you I would settle for 10. I'm at 8.5 right now. But how many sessions do you have to play if you win at 8.5 in 45 minutes to an hour, 4 or 5 sessions, and all of a sudden, if you win all those, it's only an average of $8. You got $40. You've increased your bankroll considerably if you're starting out the micro. And again, you can email me later on. I'll give you a link for a full flush that'll get you $10 in your, without depositing, $10 in your account right away. And then if you join Heartbeat Poker, which is a forum internet site, they have free rolls on top of the free rolls that Full Flush offers you. I am not the affiliate, but I know the affiliate, and I know that by me recruiting some players to go over there, he'll put more money into free rolls and have more events for you guys. And most of you guys that early on have been following me or have been following me since I was at Poker School Online and Dean. Last hand is the 4-7. Can't play that. So I want to thank you all for attending and or watching this. This wasn't live, but hopefully you learned something from it. Did win $8.64, so we'll put that in the bankroll and we'll keep going from here. I'm Al Spath. It's the 22nd of August. Please tell some other people. Follow me at YouTube, Al Spath, S-P-A-T-H. You can email me at alspath@alspath.com. I am available for coaching if you'd like to contact me for that. And I will be doing a session or two with some people that are following me. I'll make a selection, a random selection, and somebody might win a free shadowing where I videotape you at the table playing and ask you a bunch of questions. So if you're in for that, follow me and then email me telling me that you just started to follow me and you'd like to be entered into that drawing and you have money at either True or Full Flush Poker, because that's what you need. We're not going to play in the play area. Thank you so much. It's been good talking with you.